The kids, when I asked them why they didn't come to breakfast initially a few years back, it wasn't, thankfully, because they didn't like the food. It was more of a social issue. They'd rather spend time with their friends. They'd rather sleep in. And we also, again, had a large percentage of our kids being bused, and they just didn't have time to eat breakfast. We had problems with kids coming in late to school because they knew that they just had to come for activity period. It wasn't a problem to miss anything.
Part of the problem with that is there was no real incentive for kids to come to school on time necessarily. So kids could stop. We had a Sheetz store down the road. They could stop at Sheetz, get breakfast down the road at Sheetz, come here a little late, sign in, do those kinds of things.
We thought we could kind of kill two birds with one stone. If we had them come in and go directly to first period, we would have the lateness issue taken care of. Plus, if we could have them eat breakfast after first period, we could get a greater percentage of those kids eating. Breakfast after first period entails the kids coming into school, and then they go to their first period class. After first period, they go back to homeroom, and then they come to breakfast. On different days, they might, when different groups are in the cafeteria, different days, some of them might be going to activity period to different activities and clubs. And on the other days, if they're not eating breakfast, they're doing a sustained silent reading. And that's breakfast every day. When we decided to do this, we had to look at our staffing. Did we need to add people? Because if our numbers went up, how many more we could absorb before we had to add additional staff? Did we need to change staffing hours? Luckily, in our case, the ladies were already here, and we didn't have to do very much changing. Our participation since we've gone to breakfast after first period has skyrocketed. It's been a wonderful change. Everybody, again, administration was very supportive. The teachers were very supportive. My staff are always very flexible in everything that they do. But once the kids really didn't have to choose between breakfast and doing something before school, it really helped percentage of participation go up. The kids know that after first period, they can either sit in their homerooms or they can come here with their friends and have breakfast, and that's the choice most of them are making. Well, with universal free breakfast, I had heard of it, over the years. I knew nobody was really doing it around here. And again, it was another one of those conversations with the high school principal where we were trying to get kids to eat. He's very supportive of our program. He knows how important it is for the kids to eat. And it just kind of evolved into a discussion one day, again, about changing schedules. And I just kind of threw it out to him, well, what would happen if we did it for free with everybody? And truthfully, he picked up the ball at that point, and he was just full of ideas about, well, we could do this or we could do that. And he was very supportive from day one with that program. And, we knew that we had a very high percentage of free and reduced children. We knew that they were already eating. And we just thought that we could, after we crunched the numbers and looked at it financially, if we could do it. And we just kind of let the ball roll from there and tossed it out to the elementary principal as well, and talked with the superintendent and the business manager. And we knew that it was a good idea.
I think they have to make sure they're always prepared. Susan's always prepared. Her ladies here are always prepared. So when Susan brings something to us, it's real easy to say, we'll try that. We can do this. We can do any of those things. We don't have music on today, and traditionally we do actually have music on in here also, because those are things that our kids enjoy. Susan's real good with the kids. The kids enjoy being here, they enjoy eating meals here, and the ladies treat them very well.
As far as breakfast, when we decided to go to universal free, one of our concerns was, what is this going to do to our lunch count, to our lunch participation? Because of the timing at different days, they might be coming in to eat lunch 2 hours later. And we were worried that our lunch count would suffer. Thankfully, again, in our case, our lunch count actually went up this year. And, you know, you hear different theories, and one of them was, well, they've already eaten once, you know, that kind of gets the ball rolling, and they're back to eat again. They get into the habit of coming to the cafeteria. But thankfully, it has not hurt our lunch participation at all. It's actually helped it. We're at a pretty solid 70% every day of breakfast kids eating. And again, you know, it's kind of a win-win situation for them. So participation has gone up very well, and it's been with minimal changes, you know, with everybody.
I think a number of the benefits are, number one, probably some of our kids we now know eat 2 meals a day. Sometimes they don't eat that third meal at home. Before, maybe they were eating 1 meal a day, that meal here. I think that, you know, our trips to the nurse's office have declined. I think getting kids to eat eliminates a lot of the little headaches that we had and some of the other things. The other thing is, it gives the kids another avenue and opportunity to have some social time, and I think that that's important because it eliminates the need for that social time outside in our hallways or in our classrooms.
Everything that you read says that, you know, kids that eat, you know, do better in class, have less problems going to the school nurse, not feeling well, tardiness, you know, attention, all of those things. And it's been very nice to see that everything that we read and were told actually did come true. I think in our case, keys to our successful breakfast program is having an administration that is very supportive, and I think that's the number one thing. The superintendent is very supportive. He's very nutrition conscious, always has been, always felt that it was very important for the kids to eat. The principals have been the same way. The teachers are also very supportive of our program. The teachers encourage the kids to come here and eat. And I truly think that's probably the biggest thing, is just having the support. Plus, my staff has been wonderful, and they're always very in touch with the kids, and as far as what the kids want to eat and what they don't, and they always have their best interests.